Good morning, baseball way of lifers. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a good weekend. And today we continue our 30 teams in 30 days segment. And today we highlight the 2021 Miami Marlins. Well, what a surprise they were last year, weren't they? No one expected them to do what they did. They were hit hard by COVID-19. Uh, Over a dozen players I know were sidelined at one point in time for the Marlins, yet they played on and even made the playoffs. Now the big question is, can they do it in 2021? We shall see. But before we get into Marlins, let's go over their history. The Marlins began play in the 1993 season as an expansion team and were called the Florida Marlins. Originally, they played their home games at Joe Robbie Stadium, which was probably one of the worst stadiums I've ever seen. I was never there. I did pass by it as a tourist one time, but it was this color scheme. It was a square box. It was a football stadium that they shared with the Miami Dolphins, and it just did not look baseball-like. And I could see why it wasn't that big a hit with the Marlin fans. But that's where they began until they moved to the new ballpark. And the Marlins are an enigma, without a doubt, because they're one of the most least successful franchises in baseball history. And the fact that they've only made, I think they've only had 500 above 500 seasons. And it's just been terrible for them. But the bright spot was the two times that they made the playoffs before last year, they actually were wild card teams and won the entire thing. They were the World Series champions. Go figure. The unfortunate thing is after they won the two World Championship titles, the team was torn apart. So it's hard to build a fan base momentum when you win a championship and then rip everything apart. But ownership had a lot to do with it. And to be a fish fan, as I like to call them, not the Marlins, a lot of times I just call them the fish, is a tough deal. I mean, they're not always the most likable team due to the ownership in the past. But now things seem to be a little bit different with Derek Jeter at the helm. And they've actually moved to Marlins Park in downtown Miami, which was supposed to be this cool, hip place to go to and reflect the Miami atmosphere, the Southern Florida atmosphere. And it really hasn't been a hit. Now, I'm not sure if that's the actual stadium itself or just the fact that maybe Miami Marlin fans aren't that supportive of Major League Baseball. We shall see. They took out the sculpture in center field, as you recall it being there. I kind of liked it. I kind of think it made the Marlins unique in that regard. So I would have liked to see that in the ballpark. And if you're going to make your ballpark unique, whether it's with the whole water theme and teal colors or whatever, you might as well stick with it at this point. I guess it's the Clevelander bar out in left field. It's the big hit. I guess when you're a Marlin fan, you need to drink and party a little bit, drown your sorrows. But that makes the ballpark a little unique. But hopefully the new ownership with Derek Jeter, and he basically ripped the whole team apart too. So again, the Marlins fans had to go through that whole process. They had that outfield of Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton, which they just gave away, basically. But it seems like they're going to do it the right way. I guess with them, you're just going to need patience, as Axl Rose once said, and we'll see what happens. They're not doing the get-rich-quick scheme and signing free agents to try and put all their eggs in one basket for a season and sell off. Looks like they're trying to develop a farm system. And last year's surprise looks like it may work out for them. You hope. And Don Mattingly, to me, is a baseball lifer, and you couldn't ask for a better manager. He's a good guy, and I think the players respect him. Jeter as the general manager, and Kim Ng, groundbreaking hire by the Marlins. So she's been a brilliant mind. She's been with two winning organizations. She's been with the Yankees. She's been with the Dodgers. So would really like to see them be competitive. The unfortunate thing is they're in the National League East, and you got the Phillies and the Mets who will spend money, it seems. The Braves, who just, I don't know how they do it. They just keep developing players and spitting them out and re-signing their players and just being a force year in, year out. And it's going to be tough. Washington's still, Washington's at the crossroads now, but, they still have a lot of talent on that team and could surprise. So for the Marlins to be competitive this year, it's going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. And they actually take a few steps back to make a step forward this year. So they may lose more often, but still make progress. And let's hope they do. Let's hope that the Marlins fans just don't have those 2 World Series to hang their hat on in last year's wild card. Hopefully there's more success for them down the road. And I hate to see any city suffer attendance-wise and not be popular in the market. So hopefully the Marlins can be a success one year and have a sustained success, 3-4 year run or whatever. So here's hoping for the best with them. The funny thing is, too, let's see what we have here. Oh, there are 3 playoff qualifications and 7 winning seasons, are fewest among the MLB franchises. So it's been a rough road. So if you're a Marlins fan, raise your hand. Okay, I see you. Oh, it's good they do have somewhat of a fan base here in our group. So I'm glad to see that. And like I said, the hiring of Kim Ng is a big step forward. It looks like Derek Jeter is going to do what it takes. He's disciplined. He doesn't listen to the critics. So hopefully things start turning around for them in that regard. And not only was Kim Ng the first woman in executive position, she's also the first Asian American general manager. So that's also good to see. Now, the projected lineup for the Marlins looks like it's going to be Corey Dickerson batting leadoff and playing left field, Sterling Marte, center field, Jesus Aguilar at first base, Adam Duvall in right, Brian Anderson at third, Miguel Rojas at short, Isan Diaz at second, and the catcher, Jorge Alfaro. So a lot of people aren't that familiar with these names. They have a few veterans. These guys have some wear and tear on them. Corey Dickerson's going to be 32. So Marte's already 32. Jesus Aguilar's 30. Adam Duvall is 33. Miguel Rojas is 32. And I guess they're going to have these guys as placeholders until either new talent is developed and brought up or trades are made. But still, some of these guys are decent. Starling Marte, you got to love his speed on it. He's one of the few guys that still has speed on the base pass. He's a stolen base threat. Adam Duvall, he can go yard, and so can Brian Anderson. So having those guys back to back in the lineup could give them some pop, and hopefully they get hot at the same time and help the Marlins put a winning streak together. Corey Dickerson is just a good player. I mean, I liked him from day one. He knows how to play the game. Miguel Rojas, I like as a shortstop. I think he's a keeper. Again, he's 32, but I do like the way he plays the game. The bench itself, not much to write home about, but I do like Garrett Cooper. He's a solid bat off the bench. He can knock the long ball out there for you. And John Birdie is a speedy little infielder, outfielder, a little spark plug for them. So they got a couple of good guys coming off the bench. And not sure if they're going to save the franchise, but they'll be welcome additions to the squad. The starting rotation looks like it's going to be Sandy Alcantara as the ace, Pablo Lopez, Elvis Hernandez, Sixto Sanchez, and Trevor Rogers. Now, for a lot of you, these names may not be familiar at all, but all these guys have potential. I mean, they do have live arms. The one that really sticks out, they're not projecting him to be the ace this year, is Sixto Sanchez. So we'll see how Sixto does. He was the trade with JT Realmuto, and he's probably their number one prospect, so he's going to be thrown into the mix right away, as is Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers is highly ranked by the organization. But Sixto's the man to watch this year, and I think they're going to break him in slowly, not put too much pressure on him. Sandy Alcantara is the man that I think is going to get the most work and be at the top of the line rotation. Again, sometimes he could be a little bit wild. Pablo Lopez and Hernandez are decent pitchers. I mean, they should do okay. They're serviceable. So the Marlins rotation looks pretty good. And so does their bullpen. The bullpen with Anthony Bass, Yimi Garcia, Dylan Florio, they're all capable relievers. And I think the big go-to guy there is going to be Anthony Bass, I should say. And Yimi Garcia will probably be the backup man. Either one is interchangeable as the ace. So look for those two to do well. And hopefully they can keep them in ball games. They got a lot of guys that are potential bullpen pitchers. And, these days you need the bullpen, especially after last year with the shortened season. This year coming in 162 full blast, they'll have to be counted upon in the bullpen. And looking ahead in the minor league system, couple of Lewin Diaz, he's not expected to come up until, what are they projecting him for? Well, he's number 6 in the ranking. Oh, they project him to come up sometime this year, and he's the first baseman prospect. So right there's a potential replacement at first base. Nick Fortes is the catcher. He is looking good too, and no timetable on him. And Will Banfield is another catcher. So they got 2 catchers in the farm system that look very good. And it looks like they're going to take their time bringing them up. Christian Rodriguez, they have as a third baseman prospect. Again, he was an amateur free agent from Venezuela, and they're going to take their time with him. He's only 19 years old, but they do have high hopes for him. And then Chaz Chisholm is their number 2 organizational rank. As far as the organization, he's ranked 2nd, and he's the shortstop, and they expect him up sometime this year. So it looks like these guys may start easing their way into the lineup every day, and you could see it's a long-term plan that's probably going to be happening sooner than we think. So that's a good thing for the Marlins. J.J. Bradley is a right fielder who's very highly regarded. They expect him to come up later on in 2021. He was a first-round draft pick for them, number 4 pick overall. And overall ranking in MLB, he's number 35. So there's a lot of good prospects in the Marlins farm system. So unfortunately, they're in a very tough division, and they're not going to sneak up on people like they did last year. A lot of teams in that division, the Phillies and the Mets, had off years, and I don't expect that be happening again this year. So we shall see. I like the guys in charge, Mattingly, Jeter, Kimming. So I can honestly say first time in a long time, I feel good about the direction the Marlins are going in. So we'll see what happens. So if you're a Marlin fan, hang in there. I think it's going to be a fun year. Enjoy the ride. And I still think you guys are probably going to finish last, probably win about 70 games, but it's going to be part of the process. And that's it for my review and preview of the Marlins in 2021. If you do like the video, hit like. If you don't like it, hit dislike. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment field. And these are basically YouTube broadcasts I do every day. So if you want to subscribe to all of them, I only put one a day up in the group site. So if you like what you see here and want to see more, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd be glad to have you on board, and you'll be alerted every time a new video comes up. And again, I want to thank you guys in the group for everything you do to make the group the best baseball group in America. And it really means a lot to me. And thanks for watching. It's great to have people watch. And have a great day. Have a great week. It's Monday, I know, but think positive and make it a good week. Play ball. And for now, adios.